My name's Adriana. I am actually the marketing director with Shameen Hotels for the Hilton and Hilton Garden Inn, which also includes Catch 31, Salacia, Skybar, Loggerheads, and Neptune Park. So that's 6 different outlets. It's kind of a big deal. I do actually want to say before I even get started, it's an actual honor to be up here speaking about something that I'm really passionate about. I think I'm more nervous even now because I had my old boss right before me. I kind of like, hey, I know who can impromptu and give a good speech. So now my nerves are, woof. And I'm really good at public speaking. It's peers. It's peers, people that I admire and that I respect in the community. So I'll go ahead and get started with this. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. If anyone who knows me, is a firm believer. You got to do something new. It might be a mistake, but if you never tried, you're never going to know. You've got to live outside of the box just a little bit. All right, you've got your welcome to Virginia Beach. So, of course, on this TV, it's cutting it off. Just kind of one of the things is like you look at these pictures and kind of how the marketing is for Virginia Beach. They think of what? King Neptune. Kind of one of the noticeable things. You've got the Cavalier, another noticeable thing that we have for Virginia Beach. It's a different marketing strategy that the city uses itself. Something is big. When I said thinking outside the box, no matter what you do, you have to think bigger. And just because I run marketing for 2 hotels, I look into how am I bringing people to the oceanfront. That has been my goal since I started with Shameen. I used to work for Gold Key with Mike for 11 years, and I learned a lot, and I have grown even more with Shameen. But my goal is to bring people to the oceanfront. You know what? It'll benefit my hotels, but it's okay because I'm bringing people down there, and I'm looking at it as a whole. I want everybody to be down there as a big whole. Something in the water. So Pharrell took his idea. He brought something that was outside of the box to the oceanfront. I'll give you an example. Our RevPAR for the Hilton, we actually did over 50% more than we would have done normally for the same exact week. We've sold out. We were already forecasted to sell out. However, even with our competitions, over our competitions, we were only 1% over our comp sets for the same exact weekend. They brought revenue. We were all the way down on 31st Street. They brought revenue everywhere, and it was an amazing weekend that someone thought outside of the box, took a risk, and this is the reward that it paid off. And now we've got the next 3 years at least that this is going to be in the area that is making an impact for Virginia Beach. All right, so kind of some of the things you want to do when you do tourism marketing. Sorry, I'm coming over here, coming back this way. Maximizing revenue during peak periods, that's one of the amazing things. And I will give that, I learned that from Mike Woodhead. He said just because a place was busy, you need to keep it busy, and you need to keep it packed busy. You know what I mean? That is how your goal should be no matter what. He said that about Skybar. It was a Saturday night. We're like, Skybar is always busy on Saturdays. He's like, you need to keep it busy every single time. Because the second you stop looking, and you stop thinking about that one place, what happens? They start going, it's wobbling. It's not gonna stay busy. You've gotta make sure to keep, and you're maximizing these peak periods. You want to grow consumers' length of stay, their check average, their consumer spends. That is how we actually did it for the Hilton, the weekend of Something in the Water. We grew the customer's length of stay. So they end up saying where it went from 2 days to 4 to 5. And that is what we did, is we're keeping these packages and everything together. Generating revenues during non-peak periods through event creation, merchandising, creating buzz with your business. In the wintertime, people say that marketing, it's slow. Like, you don't need marketing during the winter. In reality, you do. That is the busiest time for a marketing department. Does anyone know why? You gotta put butts in seats. It's Mike's Pavilion. You gotta put butts in seats. That's the hardest time to actually do. You have to come up with events. You've got to be creative. You're thinking outside of the box, even during these, like I said, the non-peak season, non-peak periods. Kind of going through something like our target audience during our peak period. So you look right here, I'll give you an example. So VB local, so it's leased, but the Shameen hotel guest, the non-Shameen hotel guest, day visitors, and it goes on up. So it goes from most to least. And this should be how, if you're looking at tourism and marketing, where your marketing should be at. It should be your one-time people who are coming here for the hotel, right? They're making their one, they could be just brand new guests. Like Mike said, it's the hardest thing is that brand new customer, Shameen hotel guests, non-Shameen hotel guests, people who stay outside of the area. What are we doing to bring them into our facilities, into Catch 31, into Salacia, into Skybar? Put them in Neptune's Park, Loggerheads. What are you doing? You have to be one step, just only like just a little bit above the next person, because you know what? Most people have a burger, right? But how do you make that burger look like it's the best burger you want to have? It's the coolest burger event you want to be at. Same thing with seafood. Everybody serves seafood, everybody serves steaks. What are the one things that your establishment can do that can set you up just even a little bit above the other person? Not saying completely demolish them, just a little. You've got to have that niche, and you've got to be creative in what you're doing. All right, so one of the number one things with marketing is finding out who is your target audience. It's funny, I talked to Eric a couple days ago and I said, wait, who's my target audience? Because I can teach all day long, I love teaching, but I want to know who it is. And when he's like, it's your peers, I was like, oh my gosh, all right, we got this. Like, whew, okay, we're good. But that's, in any event, it's finding out who your target audience is, because you might think your target audience may be something and someone else might think. You have to come into collaboration with everybody and find out who your actual target audience is and target that audience. You can be, hey, my target audience is I'll give you an example, older male between 40 and 50. Do I want to market to him the same way I'm going to market to a 21-year-old? No, it's different. You have to find the niche for them. However, that 40-year-old male might like the 21-year-old vibe, depending on how he is. Also, finding supporting data from your CVB, the VBRA, VBHA, and from your city to back up what your thoughts are on working in your business. So any of your local city chapters, you can think that something is, but you need to find supporting data, because people actually listen to you when you're like, hey, this is the data that we have from all these different organizations. Having after actions and recaps with any events or any sort of promotion you want to do are huge. Like Mike said, hitting your total spend. Is the spend worth it? Was it worth it? Your time and effort, or how long, the length for the campaign took. My typo, nervousness. And then outcome, but not only my input. I can say something was great. I'm always going to think, oh, my stuff's great. But how does the team and how is the people, so like your operations team, what is everybody collaboratively thinking? Was it really a success? Everything can't always be a success. You can always make something better. So like I said earlier, rising tide helps float all the ships. So I think it was John F. Kennedy, maybe, that had originally said that. And the reason why that stuck so well with Martha, our director of sales and marketing, when we were talking, was because every idea I've come up with has actually been to bring people to the ocean front. I had told Amanda back in January my idea for the park. I wanted to put a rink at Neptune's Park. I mean, it might give a little bit of revenue to the Hilton, but what is it going to do? It's going to bring people back to the ocean front. I had this whole entire layout going on. It was a great idea. She was like, why didn't you have this idea when you were with Gold Key? I was like, well, yeah, they probably would have said no. It probably would have been fine. But like I said, we can't with the city, unfortunately. It's actually the electrical issue for the park, so they have to spend like a bunch of money and redo it. But it's something, when you think of global, you got to think bigger than just your outlet and what your property can make. Think of what you can do, because if I bring people to the ocean front and we only have 289 rooms, where else are they going to go? Everywhere else. We only have so many seats in the restaurants. Where are they going to go? Everywhere else. So when you think of tourism and tourism marketing, if you think like that, we all win. We're not. It's a competition to really such a degree. All right, next thing I have. One of the things that's fun. Remember I said thinking outside the box? I came from operations a long time ago with just this drive and energy to come up with marketing and come up with these ideas. And we were doing so well. I was actually the Skybar manager for a few years. And my food and beverage director was like, okay, they don't really have, you can just beat your last year's, what you did for numbers. You don't really have a budget. You don't have a goal. There's nothing that you want to really do. And he was like, but come up with something different. How can you beat your numbers? I had reached the max, I think, that I could do as a solo manager with one supervisor at that time. So he said, what can you do to think outside the box? Anybody ever see the mermaids? There was like girls with pictures that look like they're under the water with like their real life mermaids. This was before they were in the aquarium down here. They were before the stuff like that. I decided, it's a really bad picture, I put a mermaid in the pool. As like one of the things they were like, wait, how do you do this? What can you think of outside the box? I put a girl in a pool. And she sat there and every single person was like, selfie, picture. Like I wanted to be the mermaid. But it was the first time, and that's where I think the aquarium stole my idea, was putting someone in the pool. But it was great because that was one of the first things I did. So I was actually thinking, I had stepped away from my role at Skybar Manager and I was a marketer. I was in marketing. And it was another thing is, how do you beat yourself? Come up with something that nobody ever thought of to do before. I don't know how I came up with this one. I put an aerialist over the pool. Upstairs, 18 stories high, flying. Literally flying. When you see this, you're just like, wow, what? I don't know how I came up with it. I think I was just challenged with and I'm pretty sure that was, I don't know if Mike was still there when we were doing that. He was just like, figure it out. I'm like, okay, I'll try this out. We'll see how this goes. Actually, you were there. I think he did challenge me to do that one. All right, this next thing I have is kind of like just a little video on another kind of idea when you're stepping outside of the box for things that we do. We actually did a release for Ava Vodka, and let's see if it plays. So one of the things about this was I also got tasked with another thing. So our CEO, so Bruce had, for Gold Key at that time, with the Cavalier and Tarnished Truth, we had to make an impact. We had to do something that was crazy. And it's actually when Amanda was leading the team and she was just like, I know you just got back from surgery, but you got to make this work. You've got to blow it out the water. This has got to be the thing. And we did. I was sitting over there with like one arm trying to do all this stuff and coming up with the idea. And I said, I worked with the videographer who was Corey Wright. And we sat here and went through and shot that video. So everything from the aerialist, how the whole look, the whole feel, from branded cups to, covers on their pillows, everything you think of to brand this, it was a really good launch. And it was crappy weather. When I'm saying that, it's like, that's one of the hardest things about Skybar is the weather. And I couldn't do anything about that. But it was so much fun. And that was the highest revenue Thursday they had all season long. And I had been gone. I had had surgery the whole season. I missed pretty much the majority of it. But that was the first one. And it took a lot of work, but it was a payoff that, look at that. I can use this at any time and market it. I've spliced and cut, which is actually my other video I'll show you guys towards the end, that you can use to market everything. So you get a good video, an event you do for tourism, anything. And you can reuse it again. You can cut it, splice it, put it on Instagram, social media, everybody will follow it. No, I don't want it again. All right, so social media, kind of some things with tourism and social media. So everybody always thinks that we have to pay for stuff, right? So paid ad, boost ad. And Eric, I'll give Eric a good example. He was just like, you don't have any paid ads on there. I'm like, I know. Remember when he first came to me, I was like, I know, I'm trying. But here's also a reason what I think is, so even with your business, no matter what it is, we target, so visited Virginia Beach, we reshared the picture that I'm pretty sure one of us might have snapped a long time ago, but you can see the organic reach already. No paid boost, 49.80 for people reached with a natural, so engagements of 785, 275 likes, 41 comments, 26 shares of a picture of over here where our chairs are and King Neptune. Something that simple got that reach. Next thing was, we actually promoted it in. So when you make posts that are relatable, especially when it comes to tourism marketing, if you relate, so everybody's like, I've been promoted, we've all been promoted, right? So you want to congratulate somebody, those are the high reach. Same things when someone gives birth, someone has a wedding. If you see, those are the most likes that you'll probably ever receive. Relationships, depending on if, they like the person, might be the highest ones. So here, this was the other one that was the highest. So this was just a natural post, 45, 32, 1,900 engagements, 268 likes, 111 comments, and 9 shares. It's just congratulating someone who did an amazing job and actually deserved it. Which brings me to my next one, paid one. So yes, paid ads do work. However, if you go natural, like I said, it's like you hit those spots where people want, especially for tourism. You have the beautiful King Neptune. You have a beach shot that is the morning shot. It's the breakfast on the beach. You're gonna get a natural, organic reach. Here's my paid ad. Michaela's wonderful fingers. I'm gonna point those ones out real quick. And we tried to do with King Neptune. Paid ad was 3827, 47 engagements. Really people reached, when I boosted it was 2,800. 10 likes, 2 comments, 2 shares. I spent $30. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like it's all about the content that you have, especially when you go for social media and you're posting. When it comes to tourism marketing, it's about your selection. And you can't just sit there and say, you know what, I'm gonna put a pretty girl with a glass right here and hopefully she gets a lot of likes. It doesn't always get a lot of likes. People like food, people like creativity, people like the view. And when you are painting the picture for tourism marketing, when we all go on vacation, right? I said this, I was like, the first thing I want a funky, chunky monkey, a frozen chocolate drink and a coconut, and I want it to be cheesy. You know why? I'm on vacation. Because most of the time, we really don't care. We just want to have fun, and we want to live the life that we are promoting. So we do yoga upstairs, we do events like that, because on vacation, you know what? I want to do rooftop yoga. I mean, maybe in my, with a good shoulder, maybe I would. But I want to do events, and that's when you come up with ideas and events for tourism marketing, no matter what city you're in, you've got to come up with what people are going to want to do. If they're visiting you, what are they going to want to do? You can't have the same stale event that you have at every single place. You've got to come up with something different. And when you think outside the box, mermaids, aerialists, half-naked chicks, not saying that one, it could actually work, different things. So my other thing was, besides this being a paid ad, and I don't think this is gonna work on this one. So I might have to, oh, it is. So here's a video, and you can kind of hear it. There was playing on something on the water, by the way. Would anybody have guessed I made that on my phone? I made that on my phone that is sitting right in front of Michaela. I edited, I did the music when he dropped it, because that was like my pride moment of actually matching up the music to everything. I made on my phone. That was for a phone made, so an app that cost me $0. You get the footage that you want, you edit everything, you find the music that you want. And you know what, it's like I know we talked about purchasing, or we haven't really talked about that, but music purchasing and rights, when you get a mix from a DJ, they've already paid for the rights. It's something that's kind of like an in-way, but can you imagine, like I made that from my phone. That's pretty crazy. And the next thing, it's funny, we talk about, the reason why I said I had videos was because, well, my last one. My next vision for this, and with the video is, I've been working on this, and I have to figure this out, my crazy mind. But I want to actually do a video where it opens up and you see the beautiful beach, right? And I'm painting the picture of the vacation that every single person wants, from the family to the couple to the young couple who just wants to party. That is the video that I've been working on. And so that's like what I said, it's just gonna appeal to everybody. And you know what, it's some things with my phone, but it's also with the guy Corey, who is an amazing videographer, Corey Wright. If you guys ever look him up, if you email me, I'll send you his contact information. If you steal him from me, we're gonna have a conversation. But he is amazing, and you can come up with ideas. When you think about it, You come up with the idea, make it big, and you can actually make it big. It can work for everyone and not just only your hotel.